Hello and welcome to the Observe Conversations channel. I am VR Sampath, retired IPS, aka Sampath Ramanujan MFA. For more details, click the link below. Please subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you. Let's get into the topic for the day. This episode is called UG30. Key points I gathered or gleaned from his various writings and speeches. Body is not interested in spirituality. It has its own intelligence. We burden it with mind, thought, self, etc. There is no such thing as reincarnation or karma. Ask yourself what part of you will reincarnate. All concepts of I, self, psyche, mind, etc. are created by thought. Accumulation of thought is memory, knowledge. For seeking yourself, assertion and denial should go. Search should end, so also the questions like how. The only instrument available for finding yourself is thinking or feeling. That will be direct knowledge. The only instrument available to manage thought is thought again. That is our problem. What comes in the way of such direct discovery is the selector, the observer, the perceiver, the seer, etc. The choices. This selectivity is a limiting factor. The body and brain are capable of direct perception. You are not in living contact with anything in the world. Our only contact is through the world. The thought, the movement of which is called memory and experience. We live in them and through them. When you ask how to have living contact, you only give continuity to thought. Every concept is movement of thought. Bliss, eternity, heaven, etc. are all movements of thought. This movement of thought should come to an end. But there is no way of controlling thought. So let go. Just understand all concepts, memories, experiences or movement of thought. As long as it is there, you cannot come in living contact with life. We only experience what we know already. There is no discovery as such. Whatever we learn only sharpens the intellect, the only instrument we have. Effort is futile. You want to achieve effortless state through effort, which is a contradiction. You put same efforts for spiritual progress as that of material goals, because the instrument of effort succeeded in achieving those material goals. Whenever such a thing called realization has happened, it happened only to those who had given up search completely and totally. That is an absolute requisite. The whole movement has to slow down and come to a stop. But anything you do to make it stop is only adding momentum to it. That's really the crux of the problem. As long as there is a tendency among men and women to own each other, no matter how sweet the relationship is, it will have to turn bitter. All thought is reactive. You are desperately protecting this armor, this shield of thought, and are frightened that the movement of life might smash your frontiers. Life is like a river in spate, lashing out at the banks, threatening the limits that have been placed around it. Your belief in a unitary movement of life is just a groundless belief, lacking any certainty. You have cleverly rationalized what the gurus and holy books have taught you. Your beliefs are the result of blind acceptance of authority, all second-hand stuff. You are not separate from your beliefs. When your precious beliefs and illusions come to an end, you come to an end. Human factors are all about knowing and respecting the biological factors that affect one's actions, decisions, and behavior, rather than falling into the trap of working only with psychological factors. Human culture places such a huge premium on understanding, which is purely a psychological activity and not a biological one. Yes, understanding is more of an intellectual activity, detrimental to one's perception that involves the whole of biology of all sensory modalities. Hence, understanding is highly limited and suspect. Being yourself is very easy. You don't have to do anything for it. It takes no effort or willpower. But to be anything other than what you are, you have to do a lot of things. Whenever a thought takes its birth there, you have created an entity or a point, and with reference to that point, you are experiencing things. So when the thought is not there, is it possible for you to experience anything or relate anything to a non-existing thing here? Every time a thought is born, you are born. Thought in its very nature is short-lived, and once it is gone, that's the end of it. That is probably what the traditions meant by rebirth, death and birth and death and birth. It's not that this particular entity, which is non-existing, even while you are living, takes a series of births. The ending of births and deaths is the state that they are talking about, but that state cannot be described in terms of bliss, beatitude, love, compassion, and all that poetic nonsense and romantic stuff, because you have no way of experiencing what is there somewhere between two thoughts. The world you experience around you is also from that point of view. There must be a point, and it is this point that creates the space. If this point is not there, there is no space. So anything you experience from this point is an illusion. Not that the world is an illusion. It is the object that creates the subject. This runs counter to the whole philosophical thinking of India. The subject comes and goes in response to the things that are happening there. It is the object that creates the subject and not the subject that creates the object. This is a simple physiological phenomenon that can be tested. For example, if there is no object there, there is no subject here. What creates the subject is the object. There is light. If the light is not there, you have no way of looking at anything. The light falls on that object, and the reflection of that light activates the optic nerves, which in turn activates the memory cells. When the memory cells are activated, all the knowledge you have about that object comes into operation. There is no thinking at all. If there is no thinker, there are no thoughts at all. You cannot say there is only thought and there is no thinker. The thoughts do not come from here, they are coming from outside. The translation of a sensory perception within the framework of your experiencing structure is thought. And you are using those thoughts to achieve a goal. There is no thinker thinking there at all. If there is any information or anything that is referred to, the computer puts it together and throws it out. That is all that is happening. It's a very mechanical thing that is happening. Thank you.